What would American fashion look like from a Filipino perspective? Each decade of American fashion provides historical insight on how women were perceived, from gender roles to sexuality to body image. But while women played a central role in the evolution of fashion, Asian women weren't often credited for their influence on American fashion designers of the times. 1970s bell sleeves, that originated from Japanese kimonos. Or 1950s slit pencil skirts, you can thank the Chinese qipao for that. From global artists sitting in peacock chairs to celebrities in barongs, Filipino innovation may have been subtle, but we've made our mark on Western pop culture. I'm Jessica Louise, and we take American fashion and add a little representation into it. In the 1920s, the US emerged from World War I with new opportunities for women. After the war, floor-length gowns were shortened into calf-revealing dresses. And for our 1920s inspired look, our costume designer, John de Peralta, referenced Baz Luhrmann's The Great Gatsby to capture the sexiness and glamour of the Roaring '20s with a more modern perspective. To integrate Filipino culture, we added the pamaypay, which is Tagalog for fan. In Spanish colonial times, the pamaypay was a staple of women's wear, constructed from lace, pineapple silk, and wood from native trees. Using the pamaypay, they could attract potential suitors through secret codes. For example, covering half of your face with the fan signals to nearby suitors to follow you. In 1929, Hollywood struck a deal with the swimsuit industry, using stars to pose in bathing suits. This marked the beginning where women's bodies were used to sell products. Women idealized the form-fitting, backless silk gown look, popularized by actresses. Women often sported big bell sleeves, like those on this robe, to make their waists and hips appear smaller by comparison. Our cultural piece for this look is the peacock chair. While the peacock chair rose in popularity from 1920s Hollywood publicity shots of famous actors, the chair originated from Bilibid prison in the Philippines. The prison doubled as a factory and tourist stop, with prisoners manufacturing rattan and bamboo furniture to export all over the world. The 1950s saw the golden age of couture. Christian Dior would define the coming decade in 1947 with his A-line dress that cinched the waist and flared out a full-skirted silhouette. Umbrellas served both function and fashion, complementing a woman's outfit. In crafting a more cultural umbrella, we took inspiration from Maria Clara and Spanish-style parasols. Maria Clara is the mestiza heroine in No Limitangare, a novel by Jose Rizal. Filipino folk dance commemorates Spanish colonial times in a dance suite named in honor of this character, who represents a Filipina's courtship, elegance, and modesty. Strong sentiments also felt in the 1950s. To complement the lace design of the umbrella, our production designer added pearl detailings as an homage to the Philippines' nickname, Pearl of the Orient. Sun hats were popular in the 50s. At the time, pale skin was desirable compared to tans. To juxtapose the sun hat, we used the salakot, a traditional hat often worn by Filipino farmers to protect them from the sun. In the 1980s, you had to go big or go home. Literally. Power suits, padded shoulders, and strong silhouettes became key to entering and thriving in traditionally male-dominated work environments. The central piece to our 1980s look is a terno jacket dress, handcrafted by Master Lita and the Vinta Gallery team in the Philippines. The prominent shoulders on this dress are reminiscent of the Maria Clara gown. And while Maria Clara was the Filipino standard for traditional femininity, women in the 1980s utilized padded shoulders to appear more masculine, making sure to take up space and demand attention. Also common in the 80s, perming and teasing were popularized by rock stars and TV actors. Movie stars dressed in mostly bright colors, and neon took over the nation with the emergence and instant popularities of music videos and MTV. If you love this look as much as I did, check out Vinta Gallery, which is a Filipino women-owned and operated clothing brand that designs their products in Canada and ethically makes it in the Philippines. Early 2000s fashion was questionable. Jeans under dresses, cropped pirate pants, and juicy couture tracksuits. Okay, the tracksuits look comfortable, and 20 years later, they're back in style. This is known as a 20-year rule in fashion. It's the idea that a popular trend will fall out of style, then gain in popularity 2 decades after. Think mom jeans, athleisure, and candy-colored glasses. So for our 2000s look, our stylist, Jessica Ramos, borrowed her Lola's Manila shawl to replicate the 2000 2000s use of shawls as skirts. Using items for different purposes was very indicative of this time, like pashminas, tops that weren't actually tops, and here with the shawl. The Manila shawl is derived from the Filipino panuelo, which was a square cloth worn around the shoulders as part of the Maria Clara gown. This shawl is used as a captivating and flirty piece in the Maria Clara partner dances, which added a complementary flirtatious flair, and 2020, the year we'd all like to forget. Except, we made a lot of progress this year that will set the tone for future change to come, fashion included. Sustainability and androgyny are in vogue right now. Finally, as the world comes to the realization of its own impact on our environment, sustainable fashion is growing in importance. And as gender is being explored outside the traditional binary, fashion has provided folks a means to express themselves in more unique, unisex ways. Androgynous fashion is designed to avoid creating any distinction between masculine and feminine characteristics. Our 2020 look was inspired by Carl Jan Cruz, a Filipino designer who focuses on reusing fabrics and designing asexual clothing. Our central piece for the look is the Barong Tagalog, a national dress of the Philippines, often used as a formal shirt for men. The transparent embroidered fabric incorporates pre-colonial and Spanish-influenced patterns. And to finalize this look, we had to incorporate a mask, which was a last-minute creation by our costume designer John, who rushed through LA's garment district 20 minutes from closing to gather the materials, topping this look with perhaps the most widely used fashion piece in America for the year. So that is 6 decades of American fashion history and what it might look like from a Filipino perspective. If you'd like to see all the looks in action, check out the music video to my song, Catalog Boy, out now on YouTube and available on all streaming platforms. Make sure to follow, like, and subscribe to One Down to continue supporting work that uplifts and celebrates Filipino narratives. I'm Jessica Louise, and thanks for watching.